trying to basically knock this out of the park. How to understand the Aquarius woman. So the Aquarius woman is a lot like the Aquarius man. She oftentimes can be kind of a renegade herself. She can tend to be very judgmental, just like the Aquarius man, of whom it is that she's hanging around. In the context of love, she's going to have a hard time too, because just as it is that I said before, right? Like when it comes to the context of love, usually the people who are really a good match for her, she doesn't unfortunately end up being with, right? Her and Aries kind of have that hard time, right? Because you know, she's more so of a wild child than anything. But usually, I'm not saying every single last time, right, forever and ever, but usually she doesn't necessarily end up with the best of people, because she usually likes to give the guys that actually would kind of help her out a little bit, balance her own stuff out, a hard time, right? I've known a couple of Aquarius women myself personally on a personal level where, they know that I'm interested, but like I don't ever see them too much around. And every time I try to, every time I see them in the street, I'm like, hey, what's up? What's going on with you? Rare times, right? It's not all the time. Rare times that I do see them in the street or try to say what's up, try to say hi, what's up to them. And it's always this standoffish nature, right? Like they're hanging out with people, but at the same time, I don't necessarily I don't normally see them around. And then when I do get finally a chance to say what's up to them, they're basically always hanging out with somebody else. And anytime that I try to suggest, hey, why don't we, kick it? Why don't we hang out? They're like, oh, no, well, I'm busy, this, that, and the third. But whenever it is that, I happen to see them in the street or something like this, and I'm just walking by, I do kind of see them looking at me, trying to not be as suspicious as possible. So, it's, you try to be patient with the Aquarius woman and stuff, but she kind of does a lot of self-harm, right? Now, when it comes to the other elements of her life, she's the kind of person that can be industrious. She has a lot of goals, a lot of hopes, a lot of dreams that she will most definitely actually try to go out and live. Good on for her. She's actually doing what it is that she's supposed to be doing in that regard, right? Like, people only want to learn something, but they never want to experience. And the reality of the situation is that in order for the learning process to be more complete, and this is what a lot of people don't necessarily understand, in order for the learning process to be more complete, to have more of a privilege to talk about a subject, one must go out and experience, right? It's not enough to just talk about a tree. You have to climb the tree, eat from the tree, feel the tree, smell the tree, experience the tree in order for you to actually have a better understanding of it, right? There's those that, like I said, there's those that just talk about the tree and that's their experience. And then there's those that talk about the tree, but they've actually experienced what it's like interacting with that tree. You understand? So she's doing a very good job. Family too. Family could be an issue. You know what I mean? A lot of Aquarius women usually have problems with their families and stuff like this, which kind of makes them into kind of a loose cannon every now and again. So the people who are going to be interacting with this woman has to understand that, you need to give her some space, right? If you ask me, right? Because Aquarius also represents, and for her to be an Aquarius woman, it represents, for the Aquarius or the Aquarius energy man or woman, it represents not holding on to anything or to anyone too tightly. And this is where it is that I get that whole concept from, right? Like when I was going through my own situation with, one of the women who I was kicking it with, I was dating or whatnot, in 2016, early 2017, right, when I took that hiatus. Some of the people who know me for a long time, they knew what I was talking about when I took that hiatus. Woman was trying to destroy me, you know what I mean? And she basically came to me with an ultimatum, like, look, like, I'll go ahead and pretty much give you, buy you. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that. My mom was leaving and stuff. So, you know, I try, you know, a lot to walk out stuff like this. But, what was it saying? So yeah, so 2016, early 2017, for all those people who've been there, been with me for a long time. Remember when I took that hiatus, right? Well, what had me take that hiatus in the first place was, you know, this Capricorn woman basically was gave me an ultimatum, pretty much let me know that they'll buy me anything I want, buy me buy me anything that they can afford. This is a woman that's making well over $100,000 plus. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say where this person works or any of that type of stuff, right? For some of y'all clowns to be trying to, you know, dox and stuff like this. But and she was like, basically, all it is that you need to do is just let me groom you, right? Basically, because I had asked her. And she was like, yeah, you know, I want you to let me groom you. Now, I had two choices to make. If I said yes, then it means that everything that I said to her prior to that about me loving her, caring about her, stuff like this would have been BS. So, right, but I would have got the money, you see, and I would have been way more decked out than the way that I am now. This is why it is I say that, you know, some of these clowns in the comment section who used, not now, but who used to clown and stuff, them goofy individuals don't know anything. You know what I mean? Goofy. Anyway, so, and then the other answer I could have said was no, because now if I said no, that means that everything I said was right and I would keep my dignity, but the relationship, as far as I know it, would pretty much be over. I chose no. So, to maintain my dignity. And it was then, you know, I learned this Aquarius trait, even though I have Aquarius in my chart. I learned this Aquarius energy, you know what I'm saying, of, you know, if you can't see how much I actually care for you and you running game in that sense, then, you know, with all due respect, you got a problem. Because you need to get people to sign over their soul in a contract in order for them to rock with you. You understand what I'm saying? So I learned that Aquarius trait right there, you know, and I want to thank y'all in that sense, because it's the energy of, I don't hold on to anything or to anyone, because it's up to you to see that I was trying to be as sincere as I possibly could. And if you don't understand the value in that, then we need to have a serious talk about that. Because with and see, it's that same Aquarius energy of what it is I'm talking about, right? Like, if you don't have you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times people try to like clown me and stuff like this in the past, and I'm talking about men, you know, when I'm talking to them, I'm saying that I want a woman with decency and integrity, and she's not into playing games, right? Like, why is that so hard to find? Them goofy individuals, you know, laughing and talking about, oh, how women don't want to hear all this other type of stuff. And it's like, you know, this is where all of that type of energy of, I'm not holding on to anyone too tightly. If a person doesn't want, if a person is trying their hardest to ruin a relationship, if a person is trying their hardest, if a person does not know as an adult how to have common sense enough, because acting right is common sense. If a person doesn't have enough act right to have common sense, enough to be able to understand, I got this person in front of me, they really care about me, they really ain't trying to run game, then that's a personal problem. So I had to allow that person to walk away and allow life to kick them in the ass. If you go out there and you learn what it is, great. Maybe you come back, maybe you don't. Don't really care either way. But if you don't, and you keep lying to yourself, again, what did I just say in the Mind Control 101, in the Mind Control 101 Part 2, which is about manipulation. People who manipulate for long periods of time, they can't see the whole chessboard. In the end, there's only one place people like that are going: self-destruction. At some point, everyone is going to have to stop playing games. It's not optional, it's mandatory. They don't have a choice unless they want to be destroyed. How to understand the Aquarius woman.